Hello there. Well, today we are down at the Pattaya Orphanage, a place that's just synonymous with charity and looking after people here in Pattaya. But today I'm here representing not just PMTV, but actually also Pattaya Mail, because the link between the Pattaya Mail and the Pattaya Orphanage runs very deep, as Peter Malhotra, the managing director and founder of Pattaya Mail, was a great friend of the late Father Ray Brennan. He was also a very good friend of the gentleman who I've been trying to get on camera for a number of years. He's our cartoonist for the Pattaya Mail, Mike Baird. Now, yes. Mike, so what is the connection between, I know the connection between you and the Pattaya Mail, what's the connection between you and Father Ray and the Pattaya Orphanage?
Well, I came here about 30 years ago when I first came to Thailand, and a friend of mine knew Father Ray, and he brought me here for the first time. And I met him, and of course everybody liked Father Ray, and he was an enjoyable character. You know? And anyway, over the years, as he was getting a bit older, I was an artist in England, and as he was getting older, there was nothing in the orphanage about him, so I asked him if I could do him a portrait of him. Okay. And he didn't want one because
he's a bit shy, like yourself.
Well, he wasn't shy. He was getting old, and he didn't want a picture of as he was then. Okay. You know. See, so I left it for a while. Then one day I saw a picture of Father Ray in your newspaper, and looking at the angle that I wanted for this picture here, and of a Norman Rockwell, and I put the head on and changed it all, and I brought it up to him and gave it to him as a gift, and he was chuffed with it. See, and I was as well, because it was the only thing there was nothing of him in the orphanage at that time. Sure. You know.
Now, of course, we've got the statue that we've shown many times on TV, and everybody knows when they come here. So now this is where we're actually in the dining hall, so that every time that the children come in here, they will see this wonderful portrait that you've done. So that tells us the beginning of the story, and then through the years, what's happened is that I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the deal that you have with Pattaya Mail is that they don't pay you for the cartoons, do they? So what does Pattaya Mail do?
They send the money to the orphanage, and everybody I deal with, it's a hobby. All this is a hobby for me, something to do, and so I design, I draw, and everything. And anybody at the end of everything I do, they say, "How do we pay you?" And I say, "Pay the orphanage," which they do. And I say, "You think of a figure," and they think of a nice figure, and that's what they come and pay.
Okay. Well, your cartoons, I mean, you see them in a number of different places. Quite often you'll see them in gents' toilets in bars around the town, and you'll see Mike not in the gents' toilets, but in the bars as well. But of course, what he's actually doing there, and it's an excuse I often use, but with him it's actually true, is he's actually doing research, and he's just looking at life, and he's just looking at the people that inhabit Pattaya, or maybe the transients that are passing through, and he uses that many a time to inspire the work that you do, which is in the Pattaya Mail, and you have it online as well.
That's right. Well, I'm a people watcher. I go down, I find a seat on Walking Street and in different other streets, and I just sit there, and funny things happen. They just happen right in front of you. And I have my little pad that if I see something, I do a little sketch, and then I get home and I draw it. And this all started with Phil from the Trader, because I had never done a cartoon in my life before. And he was the one who knocked on my door, and he said he wanted a bit of humour for his magazine years ago. And I did one, and he said, "Oh, can you do more?" And then things happened with Phil and I, so I went straight to Dr. Ian, and I had a portfolio of all my cartoons, and I said, "Look, I understand you haven't got a cartoonist." And I showed it to him, and he just cried with laughter, and he rang Dan, and that was 14 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. Okay,
well, it's a very worthy addition to the Pattaya Mail, and it's interesting, when we relaunched our website this year, we put the shortcut to the cartoons, because we found when looking at the old website, because you can track the traffic, that's one of the first things people look at. They look at the cartoons, because actually sometimes the cartoons can be quite topical and controversial, which you need, and you need a bit of controversy sometimes. So they would either click on that, or I think the letters. Again, it's one of the more honest forums that's in the Pattaya Mail. Anyway, so there you go. There's the link between Pattaya Mail and and the orphanage. But today we've came down and presented Kuntoi with some money. But let's tell the story about where that money came from.
Well, a few years ago, I had an email from Pattaya Mail saying that there was a guy in the Hard Rock Cafe who wanted me to do a book cover for him. Okay. So I went over, a French guy, and I went over and I met him, and he had done many books before, and he told me exactly what he wanted as a cartoon book cover, and that's what I did. I sat down, I drew it, and we did alterations and everything, and after about a week he said it was okay, and his name is Francois de Negro from France. Very good writer. Anyway, he said, how does he pay for this? See, so I said, think of a good figure and take it to the orphanage. And he had no idea, but it's his first time in Pattaya, see, so he had no idea. So I gave him the address, and then about 2 days later he rang me up and he said, thanks for giving me the name of the orphanage, because he would never have found it in a million years. Okay. And he came and he saw a toy and he donated some money, which I didn't know till he went back to France. And then later on, Toy told me that he had donated 20,000, which was wonderful. Wow. And then about a year later, he's done another book. He's used another cartoon, and today I've just given Toy another 20,000.
Another 20,000.
So it's what goes around comes around. It's nice, you know. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased that he likes my cartoon enough, and Toy likes it, and the Pattaya Mail. It's a nice thing.
You have a line, a tagline on your book here, and it says, "Just passing on a smile."
Well, what I've done now, another thing I've done, I just learned how to do ebooks. I've never done ebooks before. And now with all my cartoons, I've got 2,100 cartoons. I've put them into a ebook format, and it's quite easy. See, so I was thinking the other week, I was talking to Toy, I gave her some cards that I had done, and she had showed them to some of her friends, and her friends were saying, where could we get them? Okay. So I thought, why don't I do an ebook for them, so she could put it on their website, and then she could send it out free to all the sponsors if she wanted to. Sure. And if anybody would want it, they could download it for $3 or whatever they want to pay for it. And all that money will carry on going to the orphanage.
I hope you didn't include, because I know some of your cartoons
No.
not appropriate.
It took me hours to find nice ones.
Okay, Mike, it's great stuff, and I'm sure Father is looking down and he's going, God, that guy's still going the rounds and still doing your cartoons. But it's amazing. What I think the key to this is the fact that the amount of people that you've actually unwittingly have introduced to the Pattaya Orphanage, and I'm sure that it's became somewhere quite special for them as well. I'm going to ask Kuntoi. Kuntoi, could you join us for a moment, please? You've known Mike for many years. How would you describe this young man? Not young, but
I mean, from the beginning that I get to know him, he never changed. Maybe he gained a little bit more weight. But since at that time, from the beginning, more than decades ago, he still looked like this. Okay. I think the major reason make him young is this cartoon. He always have something in mind that it's always optimistic, never something serious. And I really feel really jealous of him by that, because I also, as a woman, I want to stay young, but with a lot of work like this, I getting old daily and weekly and things like that. And you know what more is that this time the money that come from Mr. Fang Suo had made double pressure for the children, because we are waiting for someone to buy the ticket for our charity concert next 2 weeks coming, and the whole school of the deaf school, the whole student will be able to have their own seat out of this money. And what more is that the money will go to the education fund of the orphan children anyway. So I mean, this is double pressure indeed. Thank you very much, Kun Mai.
Well, let's give this a bit of a plug. So it's at the Alan Carn Theatre, am I correct?
Yes. It's
Charity musical show. No, actually, I showed this to my wife, and she said, we are going. We're not going to miss that one.
wonderful. And I would like to mention also that we are so happy that it will be full theater, 2,000 people, and half of that will be 12 project of charity project that the children, 1,000 children will join. And the best part is the owner of Thai Alankan, apart from giving us free facility, not a single baht he charged us, he will host luncheon for the whole 1,000 children. With dim sum and McDonald's and very good milk and all the drink. Oh,
So,
wonderful
okay,
people.
The price is what?
500 baht and 1,000 baht per ticket, but actually it already full.
It's full. It's sold out.
We have kept 100 ticket for the walk-in people on that day. Apart from that, it's full because people like Kun Mike buy ticket for the children. So we have 1,000 children joining.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a chance that people can come along to Alan Carn, and it's an afternoon, isn't it? What time?
From 1:30 until 4, and it's full celebrity and full team. No advertising, no other thing but the show and music and happiness.
And the date again, Kuntai.
Sunday, October 23rd.
Okay, so there you go. There's a brief chance that you might be able to come along and witness this. It'll be a great piece of theatre at Alan Carn, but of course this will all help the various projects that the Pattaya Orphanage takes care of. One final question, Kuntai, if we can get back to Mike here. So this through this author, Francoise, it's been 40,000 baht, but I'm sure that there's been many other donations that have came in over the years, because this isn't just 1 or 2 years we're talking about. How much would you guess, roughly, what you think?
If not 1 million, it's nearly 1 million.
My goodness.
For all these years of 11 years, 12 years, I guess it's about nearly a million or a little bit less than that.
From some silly cartoons. Come here, Mike. Mike, it's great to see you. The work that you've done, it's great because it's touching, the people who read the Pattaya Mail, and of course the people who have some connection with Pattaya, who read the Pattaya Mail online, and of course your work, everybody loves it, and of course you evidently love the Pattaya Orphanage, and it's great that there's still this connection with yourself and Father Ray. So well done to you, sir, and keep drawing. I still want to see you down on Soybo Cow and Walking Street. And I know he's only helping the orphanage, right?
Not in the toilet.
Not in the toilet.
Thank you, Kun Mai. Thank you, Pattaya Mail.
Okay, you're very welcome. Very welcome, mate. Thanks very much. Kapung Makap. Thank you, Kuntai. Thank you. Okay, see you again. Bye bye.